Hi students, in this session we are discussing about the important lesson in the first year, that is about called Ionic Equilibrium. So in Ionic Equilibrium especially we are taking this, the concept will be known as called, so very important concept, salt hydrolysis. So the concept will be of what? Salt hydrolysis. So regarding to the salt hydrolysis, we have to know about especially how many types of salts are there, how they are going to hydrolyze means here. If you move on to this, the first one will be called. So a salt of strong acid and strong base. Salt of strong acid and strong base. So for this I am taking the example that is about called NaCl. So this NaCl when dissolved in water, so it will be dissolved in water ionized to give Na plus aqueous, then plus Cl minus aqueous. So by this we are getting called two ions will be formed. But the point you have to remember, Na plus coming from what? Strong base. That means it will be going to call so weak acid. What is called sodium. Then similarly chloride ion is coming from strong acid. So that's why it is going to call weak base. So by this you can say, so the sodium chloride, aqueous NaCl is not hydrolyzed. So the point will be important. Not hydrolyzed. Hence, pH is equal to 7 and it's said to be called neutral. So this is about the first type of salts, what will be known as called the salt of what? Strong acid, strong base. But the much important will be known as called as the second one, that is about known as called salt of weak acid and strong base. Salt of weak acid and strong base. So regarding to this salt of weak acid and strong base, we have an example CH3 COO Na, nothing but called sodium acetate. The sodium acetate when dissolved in water, it gives corresponding ions CH3 COO minus aqueous acetate ion plus Na plus aqueous. But we know that acetate coming from what? Weak acid. So that's why this will become a strong base. Acetate ion will be going to call so strong base. So that's why the strong base. Now sodium already we know that sodium is coming weak acid. So this strong base will react with the water. So CH3 COO minus, which on treatment with water, it gives rise to what we are getting called acetic acid CH3 COOH plus OH minus. That means here due to reaction of this acetate ion with the water, what we are going to produce? Hydroxyl ions are produced. Hydroxyl ion means simply alkaline. Alkaline with pH will be greater than 7. So this is about known as called as the second type of salt. Now if you move on to this, the third one, that is about called the salt of strong acid and weak base. The next one will be off. The third one will be known as called salt of strong acid and weak base. According to this, we have the one will be example NH4 Cl, ammonium chloride. When ammonium chloride is dissolved in water, we are getting known as called two ions will be formed. One will be of ammonium ion NH4 plus, which is of aqueous. The second one will be of Cl minus of aqueous. So we know that ammonium is coming from a base, weak base. That's why this become as called as a strong acid. This become as a strong acid. This strong acid is interact with this water especially. So that is about known as called NH4 plus react with water and it gives rise to NH4OH plus H plus. So due to production of this H plus, this will be going to called acidic. The solution will be known as called acidic with pH will be less than 7. So here the point one must remember, the first one will be called as a CH3. This is known as called anion. That's why this hydrolysis is called anionic hydrolysis, which will be termed as called anionic hydrolysis. Here the cation will be involved. That's why it is called cationic hydrolysis. So due to this cationic hydrolysis, the solution will be of acidic with pH will be less than 7. Now if you move on to this, the last one, the fourth one will be known as called the salt of weak acid. The salt of weak acid and weak base. The final one will be of salt of weak acid and weak base. Regarding to the salt of weak acid and weak base, CH3 COO NH4, which is known as called as a salt of weak acid and strong base, ammonium acetate. When ammonium acetate will be dissolved in water, it ionizes to give CH3 COO minus plus NH4 plus. So that means here, which is said to be known as called strong base, acetate ion. Similarly, NH4 plus will be going to call strong acid. So by this, both will be going to react with water. So let's see here, the CH3COO minus, once again, the same one, react with water. It gives rise to CH3COOH plus OH minus, that means alkaline, which is said to be called as a basic in nature, alkaline with pH is greater than 7. Then the NH4 plus react with water, which is of cationic hydrolysis, leads to formation of, so the one NH4 OH plus H plus. So by this it will be known as called acidic with pH will be less than 7. So by this, what you can understood means simply here the last one will be known as called as a salt of weak acid, and weak base, which is known as called here the ammonium acetate when dissolved in water, it gives mainly what? Strong base like acetate ion as well as called strong acid like ammonium. So both will be going to react with water. One will be called anionic hydrolysis, second will be called cationic hydrolysis. Due to this both cationic and anionic hydrolysis, what is going on? A solution may be alkaline or may be known as called acidic. Here, if the H plus ion concentration is equal to, OH minus ion concentration, then the pH is equal to 7, it will be of neutral. So by this you can say that the final conclusion, the salt of weak acid and weak base on hydrolysis, the solution may be alkaline or acidic or may be known as called neutral. So this is about an important concept for objective level regarding to this salt hydrolysis. Okay, so thank you.